So 4chan just got hacked. The controversial and anonymous image board, no longer anonymous, suffered a significant security breach at the incompetence of keeping their software up to date, exposing multiple security vulnerabilities. The attack was actually orchestrated by a rival image board called Soyjack Party, and the claims from Soyjack is that they have orchestrated this over many years, exploiting outdated code in PHP and their MySQL database. We're going to get into more of this, but it's wild as this took place about 2 or 3 days ago, where 4chan members were starting to see a server outage and couldn't access the image board anymore. Now we all understand that this is all part of something called the Soy Clips, which all started back in around 2021. The Soyjack Party has laid claim to all of this, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with 4chan, as it's going to be hard to come back from this one. And it's already been updated on the official wiki page of 4chan, including on Soyjack's wiki as well, detailing the entire event and how this had happened over years of exploiting. But on April 14th, 2025, the site was taken down with a hacking event. On another website, Soyjack Party, information purporting to be from the hack was released, claiming admin level access, a lack of updates to the site since 2016, and the identities of admins, among other claims. With sites like Ars Technica reporting on this, 4chan has been down since Monday night after a pretty comprehensive own. And own it was, as the initial breach seemed to occur on April 14, 2025, with a hacker announcement by an anonymous user on the soyjack.party website. It claimed to have infiltrated 4chan systems for at least over a year, calling it the Operation Soy Clips, which helped Soyjack access the backend system for 4chan. So how could this have gone so wrong? Well, the main claim had to do with a particular core script which manages the posts and submissions, including moderation, was attacked and exploited. So we're going to call this the method of attack. So what was the method? The method was a core script again. It was called Yotsuba PHP, and this was responsible for things like managing the post submissions. So as a post came in, it would redirect to the proper place to post these submissions, and it also would take on things like moderation. So as moderation was happening, it was also getting processed by the script, and this is how the hacker seemingly gained initial access to posts and moderation logs. So things that got leaked include things like email addresses, IP logs, personal information of staff members, and even source code. With the biggest two, of course, being IPs and personal information. That's not good. And what else was discovered was there was multiple accounts with not only regular email domains, but .edu from various different universities. Kind of goofy that people are using their edu university emails on sites like this, but whatever, to each their own. But there have not been any claims that .gov emails have been seen, at least as of now. So what happened in the aftermath? Well, you would see something very similar to this, a service unavailable where the server is unavailable for processing your request, as the 4chan website is down even to this day. Will it be able to come back? Well, a lot of people are going to lose complete trust in the website's ability to keep their data private, and I could definitely see a mass exodus, if not a complete shutdown of this website at this point, as it was an extremely widespread leak. And rightfully so, people are concerned about their personal data and how that has been leaked. We'll see what kind of comment the website has, and I actually have an update on that towards the end of the video, so you'll want to stick around. But before we get to that, make sure to subscribe below, as YouTube can get finicky and you wouldn't want to miss another video. Also, make sure to smash that like button for more videos like this. Let's talk about the security concerns here, because they were major. And a majority of this was due to just outdated software, where vulnerabilities were exposed and could be exploited, which ultimately gained Soyjack the unauthorized access to all of the 4chan systems. But this should outline the dangers of relying on outdated code and deprecated software. The attackers here exploited known vulnerabilities in 4chan's infrastructure because they hadn't updated things, or at least the claim was, since 2016. Obsolete PHP code and deprecated MySQL functions allowed Soyjack to monitor certain scripts and gain complete access to things like the personal data of users. Security researchers have already gone through and noticed things like the MySQL real escape function, and this is for strings, which indicates that 4chan was using an unpatched version of PHP with outdated tools like PHP-MyAdmin, which exposed people to even further risk of losing their personal data to hackers. This breach shows the importance of maintaining your software, keeping it up to date, and addressing known vulnerabilities. So the aftermath here has clearly become site outages. I personally would be surprised if they ever come back from this. I want to know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. Also, the leak has sparked widespread anger and discussions, including tons of memes about it and the upset of exposure of personal data, of course. If you're running something in production, please make sure that you're running patched versions, especially if they're reaching the web, as people are going to try your system. There's no way that people are just going to leave things alone. And on Wired, the report is suspected 4chan hack could expose longtime anonymous admins, and from Reuters, notorious internet message board 4chan has been hacked post claims. Well, we all know that is true at this point, but what's interesting here is Reuters tried to message the 4chan's press email, which went unreturned. But one of the 24 or so alleged moderators purportedly exposed in the hack wrote back using their 4chan email address to say that the site has released a video statement. The user then pointed Reuters to an unrelated, explicit 4-minute video montage. A request for further information was followed by a link to a different video with a similar content. So clearly they're not open for comment, and that's not a surprise, but it is funny that they're just keeping everything a meme at this point, as this might be the complete downfall of 4chan, which according to 4chan, it received more than 22 million unique visitors per month, and approximately half of those were from the United States. This was a massive hack and breach of data. The history spans back all the way to the 2000s, where it launched on October 1st of 2003. That's over 20 years ago. And for about the last decade, at least since 2016, we know that they have not been keeping up with the latest and greatest when it comes to security patches and software, as more than likely we're going to be seeing more and more of these types of hacks happening on websites. As reported by many, 4chan down, major hacks suspected. There's no speculation anymore. We know that their site is down, and there are even claims to who has hacked this website. Of course, there has to be some people who are affected by this, even in the Linux community. This was a massive website. If you were affected by this, you should really think about changing passwords and checking other accounts that may be associated with that password, and figuring out how you can change either your emails or usernames if, again, they are associated at all with account login information that was on 4chan. This breach should not be taken lightly, and I'll be following it as more things develop, but I just wanted to bring it up to everybody because mainly I want to really just highlight how important it is to keep software and even your operating system. For those of you unaware, 4chan looks like it was ran by FreeBSD 10.1. No, not on Linux like a lot of people probably would have guessed, but just to put this in perspective, the FreeBSD 10.1 release announcement was made on November 14th, 2014. That's right, over a decade old. You can imagine if they didn't update their operating system, you think they were taking care of anything else? Well, clearly not. Anyways, be safe out there, keep things up to date and patched. Take a moment to subscribe below for more videos. Also, smash that like button on the way back up. Catch me in a great community on Discord, and I'll catch you in another video. Thanks for watching. Linux can be hard to understand, but I take the most commonly used terms, commands, and subjects in Linux and I break them down into simple to read documents, including Linux terms, flashcards, a checklist, a cheat sheet, and a mind map. And if you're ready to level up your Linux experience and knowledge, go to SavvyNik.com now and get access to these sheets.